Hello everybody, my name is AppsNatlis and welcome on back to another video. Now, a long time ago in a galaxy far away, one of the biggest things we covered on the AppsNatlis channel was a good old dream drama. You see, back in the day, I was a massive Dream apologist, defending him through thick and thin. Yeah, not my proudest moment. But that was a long time ago, and things have changed. And so with some of the recent Dream drama, I think I ought to repent for my sins by covering this drama and explaining why Dream is so problematic. But before we hop into today's video, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. So consider subscribing if you like this content. Also, consider dropping a like. It's super helpful for my videos on the algorithm. Thanks and enjoy the video. So what exactly has Dream done this time? Well, he has said some things in the past few days that are pretty revealing about how toxic his fanbase is and how he refuses to take control of the situation. Really, at the core of this drama is stemming from what he said on stream the other day.
I'm just gonna express that if you are a person on Twitter and you have 7 followers and you get doxxed on Twitter, the odds of you having something happen to you in your life are so astronomically small that it's not even worth worrying about. It's not even worth it remotely. I mean, everybody that I know that is a creator has had their address leaked, has had their name leaked, has had everything leaked about them. And it's very rare to have things actually happen, even people with millions and millions of haters and millions of fans and millions of things. So I guess this is more of a, hey, don't worry too much, don't stress. But just if you're at the end of the day, if you're on the internet and you have something like that happen to you, try and ignore it the best you can. Try and avoid it, and you'll be fine. At the end of the day, you'll be okay. Again, that doesn't mean doxing okay. Doxing is horrible.
Well, I mean, I guess if anyone knows anything about astronomically small chances, it would be Dream. Look, to be honest, I do kind of get what he was trying to say. He's trying to make the case that the chances of something happening to you as a result of being doxed are incredibly slim, even if you're a large creator. And to be honest, I couldn't tell you how correct he is or not. I haven't been doxed before. At least not yet. To say that doxing hasn't ever had incredibly bad consequences would be a lie, though. And I think the most prominent example of this is what happened at the Team 10 house. And so essentially what happened, if you don't remember all the way back in 2016 or whatever, was that someone leaked the address of the Team 10 house. And suddenly, crowds of young children and their parents flocked to the gates of the house. And there were constantly people outside harassing them whenever they went outside. And there were kids literally just taking chunks out of the wall of their house as souvenirs. And the parents are just like, yeah, you do that, bro. That's totally acceptable. I mean, after all, these kids do pay your paycheck. And that's literally what one of the parents says in one of the clips. But I digress. It was a mess to say the very least. He also says that if you happen to be doxxed, you should just try not to worry about it. It'll all blow over. It's not that big of a deal. And I think that's honestly incredibly stupid advice. It's one thing if your address has made it to literally every single corner of the internet, but it's another thing entirely if it's a smaller scale situation. And in that situation, you should contact the police. Contact the support staff on whatever social media platform it's happening on. To see what they might be able to do, because chances are they could do a lot to help you out there. And while you could consider saying these things to be simple mistakes, I think the repercussions of the situation are a lot larger than that. It's no surprise to anyone that Dream has a very young and impressionable audience based on, him saying all this wacky shit, and his Twitch chat is just like, yeah, we love you, Dream. I love your videos. Like, They have no way of doing any sort of critical thinking whatsoever, right? Um, and when you have young, impressionable audiences, your response on issues like this has to be really clear. You have to make it incredibly clear that doxing is not acceptable. But I think that this clip is also very telling about Dream, about his stance on harassment. And I think it honestly shows that Dream thinks harassment and the consequences of said harassment aren't that big a deal. And you might think I'm jumping to conclusions, and if this video is the only piece of evidence I had, you would 100% be right. But there's other evidence to show that Dream thinks this is the case. Take a look at this tweet, for instance, on Dream's private account. Seeing people private their Twitter and delete their tweet after I reply to them, calling them out on BS, is so satisfying. You're sending your community to harass random innocent people. Actually, I'm calling out their BS. They can turn off their phone and reflect on their dumbassery. Now, this tweet itself was actually the reason I looked into all this drama, just because of how fucking insane it is. I think an appropriate thing Dream could say is, quote-unquote, I understand that some of my fans might get a little out of control in situations like these, but I have a right to defend my defend my reputation and state my opinion. And I would think that that response is kind of dumb, but at least I can understand where he would be coming from in that situation. But no, of course that doesn't happen. He says instead that when his fans force these people with like 7 followers to lock down their accounts because Dream responded to them, it's satisfying. He enjoys it. He gets a fucking kick out of it. And he's essentially saying that the people who get harassed by his fans deserve it. I mean, if he thought otherwise, why else would he say that, they can just turn off their phone and reflect on their dumbassery? Think about what you've done, right? And he thinks it's not that severe and that they'll get over it. He's essentially saying that they got what was coming for them. And that kind of mindset, my friend, is not okay in the slightest. Now, I know it's a cliche, but with great power comes great responsibility. If you have a lot of power and influence, you have to be responsible for who you critique and how you critique them. If you see some random account with 7 followers criticizing you, maybe instead of epically obliterating them in their replies, or ratioing them or some shit, you can address the arguments they're making somewhere else. Because chances are, if the argument is remotely logically coherent, there are a lot of people making that same argument somewhere else on Twitter. So you could say, I've been seeing people on Twitter saying blank, and that is wrong because blank. And that way, you are at least taking some steps to mitigate the harassment individuals are receiving. It's a game of power dynamic. When you criticize people smaller than you, like really, really smaller than you, then that's when it crosses the line from criticism into bullying. And it's one thing for 2 creators of roughly the same size to, diss each other on Twitter. But it's another thing entirely when Dream and his 18 million subscribers going after some random guy's, fucking account with like 3 dudes following him. And there is a lot of nuance to this sort of thing. I get it. It's hard sometimes to discern the difference between criticism and bullying. But sometimes, you just have to let criticism be. Be the bigger person. Instead of trying to epically own this person with 4 followers who's, let's be honest, probably a lot worse off in life than you. Maybe just let them be. Let them have their victory, because chances are that's like the only victory they get every day, dude. Like, I'm serious. Life fucking sucks. And And maybe while you're at it, go fucking touch some grass or something. Go outside. Because sometimes it's better to be kind than to be right. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, click that subscribe button, leave a like down below. Also, let me know if you agreed or disagreed in the comments. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you all later.